Came up, used to be finesse. Thinking y'all we still alive, nigga, that's a blessing. Slide on they block, teach them a lesson. It used to be the old me, cause I ain't really know me. We was told wrong by the past and the OGs. Things that we seen make us stress level OD. Instead of getting the Bible, they gon' go and get that codeine. I feel the pain of my people. They don't go what we go through, we ain't equal. The devil got us killing each other like I don't need you. I'm here to tell that brother on the corner that I need you. I love you and I need you. If we come together, we'll stop again. They ain't stopping me, so they ain't stopping you. Keep your faith in y'all because you watching me. Send them angels with us, that's what y'all would do. Angels with us, boy, nobody harming you. Think about it, we all came together though. I ain't your enemy. These other nations your enemy. And they been there from birth. About to leave Babylon, my wife a little iffy. I'ma be mad if she ain't with me. Kinda telling me that she ain't with me. My brother need a kitten. I'ma be mad if they ain't with me. I need some scribbling. Get up in them script, they uplift me. Huh? Tell my wife to keep trusting in y'all, even if I ain't with her. I was gonna make a way, then I'ma come get you. This what it's coming to. I wanna see him coming from the sky. I don't know about you. I said I'ma stop this at 144. Real freestyle. Project. But the answer to trying times, y'all. He didn't do it to the end, so be safe. Trying to love each other, man. And recognize who the real enemy is. And who his kids is. And who his nation is. I ain't your enemy. I'm your brother. When we ever come together, we gotta wait on the Messiah for us to come together. Shalom.
Shalom, family. This channel is for promotional and educational use only. All music is for promotional use and do not own the rights to this music. And the artist of this song was Hezekiah. Find him on YouTube, Hezekiah. And the name of the song was, I forget, but we will continue. Family, I have a word from the Most High. He's going to speak unto the family of Israel from the holy books, pure, the holy book, KJV, the book of Isaiah. I want to shout out to Brother Levi, inspirational brother, brought me from mighty long ways. Abdullah Seer brought me, brother, when you say we are divine explorers and we have the right, the ability to receive from God directly. Yes, brother, we do have that ability. I agree. Double shout out to Big Judah. Big Judah, I was led to him many years ago. The brother, your help is here, bro. With that being said, there's a word from the Most High God in real time. He is speaking from the book. For he said, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. And we're going to begin with Isaiah. Let me see here. We'll begin with Isaiah 48:1 thing. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness. He's saying, hear ye, O house of Jacob, called by the name of Israel. That's us, family. And I come forth out of the waters of Judah. Yeah, we came from that seed, which swear by the name of the Lord that we came from that seed, and make mention of the God of Israel, but we do it not in truth, nor in righteousness. Speak, Most High. Isaiah 48:2. For they call themselves of the holy city, and they stay themselves. I mean, you stay upon the God of Israel. The Lord of hosts is his name. I have declared, speak, Most High, the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Speak, Most High. Isaiah 43:4. Because I knew that thou art obstinate. Obstinate. I knew that you were refusing to change one's opinion. I knew that you were a chosen course of action. I knew that despite of my attempts to persuade you to do so, I knew that thy neck is as an iron. I knew that thy neck is solid and resilient. I knew that that is strength. I knew that that is power. I knew that that is astonishing. I knew that that is intellectual. I knew that that is chief. I knew that that is a supporting force. I know you are energy, firepower, force, horsepower, and vigor. Yeah, I knew. I knew that at a point that you would become impotence, impotency, powerlessness, and weakness. I know ye are the earliest occupants, the Stone Age, the Neolithic time creation, the Kazakh, the Paleo Hebrew days creation. I know that thy brow is brass. I know that you are an alloy of copper and copper ores and natural mineral that can be mined and processed and sold for profit. I know, says the Most High. Speaking to us, Israel, moving right along. Isaiah, pardon me, family, 44 and 5. I have even from the beginning declared it unto you, Israel, before it came to pass. I showed it to thee, Israel, lest thou shouldest say, my idol done them, and my graven image, Israel. He talking to the Gentiles right here, Isaiah 45 and 5. My molten image has commanded them. Now let me give it to you like the Most High gave it to me of what I just read. My idol, my God, Gentiles. This is what you said. The Most High knew, Israel. The Most High knew that these Gentiles would be like my idol, my God, not true God, my graven image, my made up God that I made myself, you Gentiles, in place of the true God, my statue of the God that I created for myself with my own hands and worship as the true God in place of the true God. My molten image, my molted and melted and smelted and fusion together image. I commanded it. Yeah, that's what you did, Gentiles. You commanded it. You gave the orders to someone to do this. Yes, says the Most High. And you did it in a forceful and official way, says the God of Judah. Having authority, yeah, Gentiles, and control over God's children of the mighty one. God's me and people like me, my people. God's people. And he came with soldiers, yeah, and police officers, and sheriffs, and national guards, and, 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 and prisons, and jails. The Most High knew you would do this to make the people of God seated with the united confederate of your way. Yes, they were confederate against you, says the Most High. Nations, which is all nations on the face of the planet, says the Most High, especially the United Sources Academy, USA, aka, commanded it. God's children, us, so-called Africans, Americans, and African American together, and 4, 5 other different names. I'm not going to go through them all. That name is an insult to the children of the Most High God to be called these things. Bywords, proverbs. That's not our name. We are the Amarukans, Amaroons of the Americans. We're not cans, Americans. cans, we cons. You Gentiles are Americans. We free from trash now. We not cans anymore, Israel. We cons, children of the Most High, in God, the indigenous cons of the Americas. Free from trash, says the Most High. Yes, you, Gentiles, are the trash DNA of the gods. Moving right along, family, Isaiah 48 and verse number 6. Thou hast heard, see all this, says the Most High. See all this, thou hast heard, and will not you declare it? I have showed thee new things from this time, even hidden things, and thou didst not know them, Israel. Isaiah 48 and 7. They are created now. Yes. They did not exist before. Not from the beginning, before I created the earth. They didn't exist before. In the beginning, no, says the Most High. Even before the day when we heard them not. In the day when we heard them not, when the earth hadn't begun yet, we didn't hear them because they were not. Israel, says the Most High. Lest thou hearest them not, lest thou shouldest say, behold, I knew them. So you knew them not. So you can't say that you knew them. Isaiah 48 and 8. Talking to you, Israel. Yeah. In fact, excuse me, we still on 48 and 7. Said, they are created now. They did not exist before. They are new, Israel, says the Most High. They are a cause to draw an effect, to put into force operation of procreation policies, you Gentiles, that endanger and have controversy. They were not here before, Israel, the earlier times. They don't have a place where someone is going in advance, says the Most High. They are not in front of or in head of you, Israel. You are previous, Israel, earlier, Israel, in front of Israel, ahead in advance of God's shadow advancing before him in the future, says the Most High. Israel, awaiting the golden age is before you, says the Most High. Israel, when thou heardest them not, going back to the good old days when we heardest them not, lest you should say, behold, I know them, because you don't know them, says the Most High, from the beginning, because they were not. 48 and 8, moving right along. Yea, thou heardest not them. Yea, thou knewest not them. Yea, from the time that thine ear was not open, because you wasn't here on earth. You didn't need an ear. It was in the lighted being, says the Most High. For I know that thou wouldest deal very treacherously, you Gentiles, says the Most High, and wouldest cause and was called a transgressor from the womb. Gentile, you, says the Most High, were called a transgressor from the womb, says the Most High. And this is how the Most High gives it to me. He said you would deal treacherously, unable to be trusted, you Gentiles. I know you would do harmful things in secret to your own countrymen who trust you, says the Most High. I know and knew you were likely to betray Gentiles. He knew. I knew you were unreliable. I knew you would be a treacherous memory to Israel. I knew you would provide insecure support, treacherous as quicksand with hidden dangers, says the Most High. Hazardous dangers, perilous dangers, says the Most High. Ready to betray trust. I knew you would be traitors, says the Most High. Deceptive, untrustworthy, unreliable, sneaky, unstable, and insecure, says the Most High. I knew you would be faithless and guilty of deceiving, hazardous and dangerous, secretly trying to harm Israel in a way that is not obvious. I knew. You could not be trusted and plot to overthrow the leader, which is Israel. I knew you were scheming. I knew, says the Most High. Hallelujah. Moving right along. Isaiah 48 and 9. For my name's sake will I delay mine anger, and for my praise sing will I refrain for thee, Israel, that I cut thee not off. You hear that, Gentiles? For my daddy's sake. For my name's sake, which is Israel, will I defer my name, God. And for my praise, sing, will I refrain for thee, Israel, that I cut thee not off, says the Most High. Speak, Most High. Speak to your children. Father, Isaiah 48 and 10. Behold, I have refined thee. I have removed unwanted substances that made thee the refined oil more improved and created a change in Israel. Ye are free from moral imperfection, elevated to a pure state as full as possible from what is coarse, low, vulgar, or inelegant. I have made thee free from impurities, precise, exact, and refined. A refined test for radioactivity. That means we are on frequency now. Israel, in your affliction, says the Most High, and in your pain, in your disease, in your suffering, persistently, in distress, and feeling, I felt empathy with your affliction. It is an action of the past, says the Most High. I will dash down, I will overthrow, I will strike and afflict. I will cause constant pain, sorrow, and great agony, and grief, and misery, bodily pain, and sickness, and loss, and calamity, and persecution, and difficulty for the Gentiles. You hear that, Israel? And it's happening as I speak. Moving right along. Isaiah 48 and 11. For mine own sake, even for my own sake will I do it, says the Most High. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory to another. I will not allow my name to be polluted, consumed, discarded in an unsuitable manner. Speaking to you, Gentile, to be made impure, unclean, tainted, contaminated, dirty, foul. You contaminated, says the Most High, the physical and biological components of the Earth's atmosphere system to such an extent that normal environmental processes are adversely affected. The atmosphere, towns, cities, lakes, denuded, stripped forests of its covering, and make it bare and naked, stripping land, Gentiles, of forests, denuding, causing deforestation, excessive logging, remove all the leaves from a tree, plural, destroy plants, did mining of trees. No, did mining, polluted lakes, many hillsides, stripped, denuded trees, caused water and nutrient stress, caused and reduced reproduction in a biomass. The total quantity of living organisms of all species, animals, plants, mankind alike, and all living matter with a habitat, including Earth's surface, whether terrestrial or aquatic, the, the woods, agriculture products, fruit, corn, straw, stems, leaves, stalks, husks, pulp, shells, peels, to take away organic matter produced by green plants, converting sunlight into plant material through photosynthesis, including all land and water-based vegetation, as well as organic waste, the biomass resources, matter, and its organic matter, in which energy of sunlight is stored. Gentiles, you use Ortesica, the reduced reproductive biomass, means less reproduction to the next generation exposed to serve denutation, attempted genocide. Gentiles, that's you to the T, down to the nitty gritty. That describes your being, that describes your character from the womb. Mean you were made and you was created to do what you did. There's no there's no other explanation. Hallelujah. All praise to the mighty